guys, it's Zamara, and today I want to discuss one of my little topics where I just get personal and I just talk about myself. And I had actually filmed this video like some 3 weeks ago, but I never uploaded it because it ran into like 20 minutes and I expanded on it too much and I just didn't like the content overall. So I just pretty much took all of the elements and just left them as a list as opposed to just expanding on each and every single one of them. So yeah, this is going to be about the people who I'm jealous of. And what I mean by this is not jealousy that impedes me from enjoying my life and like I just hate people in general. This is stuff that other people do or have that I admire, that I propose myself to improve in those areas and thus become a better person. So yeah, let's get into it. So for starters, those who get up from bed immediately and are energized. For me, it takes me up to 3 hours to get up from bed on my days off. When I wake up and I just lay there in bed and do nothing. I don't even surf the internet. I just sit there and do nothing. I feel like a train ran over me. I'm so sore. Also, those who have had goals defined since forever. And I'll expand on that one in a second. Because it's basically those who have had a direction in life. Like, I've always wanted to be either a teacher, but then after that I say I've always wanted to be a flight attendant, then an actress, then a judge. And then basically something about those things turned me off enough to where I gave up on the goal altogether. Like, I didn't want to be a teacher anymore because I hated the idea of having to grade, of having to write plans. And then, days are unpredictable. You cannot make a plan for a day and expect to execute it from A to Z. What turned me off about being an actress was that I don't even know how to get started in that one. Like, going to school for that and also getting opportunities as an actor can be either really difficult or you're just blessed. And I just wasn't sure about how I could sustain myself with that one. And then when it comes to being a judge, I hate politics. You guys know it. I hate social studies. I try to expose myself to it to not be as apathetic about it and be an overall more responsible citizen. But the idea of me accidentally misjudging someone and they having to face the consequences with time spent away from their family and all that. And at the same time, I feel like if I were to sentence somebody, I want for it to be a correctional type of sentence. I don't believe in just sending people to jail and let them just rot there. If you're going to go to this facility, it's to help you correct your actions and just help you be a more productive member of society. So I also felt like it's a very dangerous job to have because say someone didn't like what you did and they see you in public, you become an easier target. So I'll leave that responsibility to somebody else who has a better definition on this, because for me, I feel like that anxiety of making the wrong call may either impede me from delivering justice or you guys get it. And then those who have the love and support from their family. You guys know my story. I've spoken about this before. Those who, you can count on and they're there for you. And, if years have gone by and they haven't heard from you, they're actively searching for you. But at the same time, I guess I myself am not a good family member if I don't try to get in touch with them. But at the same time, I never felt welcomed in the first place. Because I remember when I visited them, I got reactions that I wasn't expecting. So yeah, I guess that's really yeah, I'm gonna leave that note alone. I've gone over this. Also, people who grew up with both parents who have a good relationship, because I know people who grow up with their parents and they don't necessarily love each other, so it's kind of hard to grow up in that setting. It is so beneficial to have both parents. That's all I gotta say. Like, yeah, I look back at myself and so many situations, if I would have had an extra figure that could have lent me some more support, it would have made a whole lot of difference. Also, the people who are good in music. I can only get so far in music by myself now. Also, those who do not struggle with anxiety, insecurity, and second guessing. You guys have known this about me. Like, I'm never 100% certain with a decision I make. I'm always thinking, should I have done this? Or I don't think I did enough of that. And, just, can I just make a decision and just leave it alone and let stuff, pan out or not? I overthink too much. Also, those who have loving, caring, and romantic relationships. I have yet to experience this because I guess it's hard. Like, the older you get and the more responsibilities you have, it's like people don't really give meaning to that anymore, or at least I haven't found them. Maybe I'm just searching wrong or not reading the signals well, or I don't know what it is. I'm just frustrated because I am ready to give my feelings away, but at the same time, I'm also ready to be corresponded. So I feel like that is a very important thing for me. And until I have that satisfied, I cannot say that my life is fulfilled. And I know that I have more years ahead of me, but let's face it, anything can change your life in a second. And or your life may just cease to be in a second. Now, I don't want to get negative or into that, but it's tough to consider. Some stuff is out of your control. So, also, the people who stand up for themselves and don't get walked all over. This is kind of a 50-50. If you're clearly messing with me, I can mess you up, but I tend not to in the name of peace. But sometimes I let my emotions get in the way, and a loved one will be hurting me and unfair and abusing me, and I'll let it happen. Like, just so that I'm not the one inflicting something negative toward them. I would rather just suck it up and be attacked. And I know that is a terrible mistake. I should, I have earned the respect. I should always, accept no less. But it's a weakness of mine. I just don't, I don't like conflict. So, but I'm changing, and I like it. Also, people who can handle a job and studying at the same time. Like, for me, having a job was the most important thing that I needed to do some 4 years ago. So even if I wanted to continue my education and I actually was actively interested in it, I, I would have had to decide, because I would have needed to sacrifice some study time. And the way my circumstances were 4 years ago, I couldn't have that happening. So yeah, those who genuinely find the time and motivation and support to get this done, I admire you and I'm jealous of you. Because for me, I just decided to quit because I was intimidated. That's the truth. I was intimidated. I was all alone, and I was already depressed. So I felt like overwhelming myself like that could really have more negative results than positives, which is what education is supposed to be about, building you. But for me, it wasn't going to work. So I made the right decision. I made the right decision. Also, people who aren't shy. You guys know when I'm in public, I don't make eye contact. I'm sorry. It's just, since I was little, I was like that. I'm just shy. Also, people who don't sweat the small stuff. I've gotten better, but still got room for improvement. Also, the people who have a routine and stick to it without ever getting bored. For me, you guys have seen what I've been doing lately. I broke my routine a little bit and I've loved it. I've had fun. But at the same time, ideally, I would have a routine to where, I would keep my home fixed and without excuses. And, that's not always the case. Also, people who are genuinely okay being emotionless and alone. I have met people who literally do not need to be attached to anybody. Don't need to be attached to their family, to their partners, to their friends. They're okay being alone. And while I do not aspire to be that way, I wish I were that way, because a lot of the things that I have opted out of have been emotional decisions. But little by little, I am learning to think more solo. And although I don't feel satisfied, I don't feel completely happy, maybe if I satisfy myself, then I will be even happier around other people. Other people make me happy as it is. Like the folks who are present in my life, like they're amazing and everything. And I can love them and I can respect them. But there's always that empty feeling that I have on the side, and I cannot quite figure out what it is. But maybe that's why I guess I've been spoiling myself a lot lately, and maybe that'll get me to where I need to be. Also, people who are physically fit. Now, you guys know me. I work out, but I am not in the shape that you would expect for me to be. And really, it's simple. I do not train as hard as I should to like my maximum potential, because I'm afraid of getting injured or being too tired to work the next day or stuff like that. And I also impose a mental barrier, which is, I used to have asthma. I don't know how I might react. I also have, in the past, I had like a heart episode. So what if that comes back? Or, I'm getting in my own way to be physically fit. And I also don't have the best diet. I cannot afford it. And another part of it is that it's just convenient sometimes to not eat well. So, but maybe someday when I get my life and resources together and, I stop standing in my own way, I will get to where I want to be. Also, people who never have problems sleeping. For those of you who have been sticking with me since maybe August or so, you guys remember I went 2 weeks without sleeping, and that was awful. And I could not figure out what was causing it. And recently, sometime in December, I had 2 nights where I had problems sleeping again, and I thought that little cloud was coming back, but nah, it must have been, I had a lot in my mind. I was processing a lot of things, and there were just not enough hours in the day. But anyway, and then finally, another thing I had to say was people who can cook many things at the same time. I'm that one person who, if I'm handling meat, which is rare, I have to give my full attention to it, because I just still don't predict very well how the oil and junk is going to behave. And then I never mess with rice, because the slow cooking, and but yeah, I just have zero talent in the kitchen, and my goal for this year is to become better at it. I hate dealing with food. I hate touching food. I hate handling food. I love to eat it, but it's one of those mental barriers that I'm imposing on myself. All right, you guys. That's really it that I have for you on this matter. I hope that you enjoyed my content. If you can identify with any of this, please let me know, because I have grown up so much as a person, and it's because I have been opening up about myself, just coming out of my little shell, and hearing your stories also open for me many more possibilities, and just it helps me. I'm nearly not as shy as I used to be, and I just feel confident in general, and I will forever be in gratitude toward you guys for that. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching like always. I probably said that already. But yeah, I'll see you soon.